here attached to the panel. So COS module connected with the antenna. This then becomes the COTP net adapter. Which means this panel can be paired to our smart station directly by this COTP net adapter via COS. And also later on, I will explain another COTP net adapter, which connects to the smart station by Ethernet. So this is the typical or small list COTP systems you can find. If you already authorized the sample, you should receive it. This is the smallest COTP subnet we can find. Hope this clarify your confusions. So let's see what kind of questions we have right now. From Mr. Werbel. Good afternoon. From the previous training, is it correct that the cable length from actuator controller is only up to 2 meters? And is the actuator purchased separately? If yes, I don't see them from the price list. Does the actuator have a dimming function or is it only off? So also the first question, which I will explain in this picture. So you mentioned about in the previous slide, we mentioned the cable from the actuator to the controller is only up to 2 meters. Yes. So it depends what kind of cables it is. You see here the connection between. Let's use this picture here. The connection. The connection between the actuator and the panel is this cable. This cable. This cable goes back to the panel, on the back of the panel, to this socket. So this is a 3-pin cable. The 3-pin cable we offer, the standard length is, we see the maximum length is 50 centimeters. But as we tested, it can go up to 2 meters. So that's correct. The 3-pin signal only can transmit only up to 2 meters. But we recommend to keep it under 50 centimeters. And you might think it is a very short distance. But I'll explain in the later slides when you have like a longer distance transmission distance, what you can do. Because we have 3-pin and 4-pin. 3-pin is for short distance, and we have 4-pin cables, which is for longer distance, which is up to 100 and 200 meters. And the second question is about, is the actuator purchased separately? Yes, I don't see from the price list. Actually, most of our Sublime panels, if you order the Sublime panel, it comes with the actuators. But you will need to check with our sales team. Most of the SKUs, they come with the back box actuators. But for several SKU like Ultra, those kind of latest screens, we don't set any policy right now whether it will come with any actuators. So please check with our sales team. And most of our Sublime panels, if you order it, it will come with the actuators. And also you can order the actuators separately as well. And the third question is, does the actuator have a dimming function or is it only on-off? Currently, the current lighting actuators we offer on the price list is only for on-off. It's only for on-off. But we are developing a 0 to 10 watts and also a constant voltage dimmer module right now. So it will be soon released. So let's continue for Sublime. For COTP deployment. So let's now take a look at some of the typical deployment. The first one is the centralized deployment. Centralized deployment. So you will see in the diagram here, on the bottom, you will see Sublime panels. And the Sublime panels connect to an adapter. The adapter converts 3-pin cable to 4-pin cable. So the green line here is 4-pin cable for longer transmission distance, which is up to 100 to 200 meters by default. And if you use a repeater, a standard repeater, it will become like up to like 1,000 meters. And those 4-pin cables is like a bus line connected together. So from those adapters to the cabinet here. So in the cabinet, you will have like a DIN rail lighting actuators, which will be released at the beginning of September. The Sublime DIN rail actuator lighting actuators. And we will also have like a COTP net adapter. So the 4-pin cables connected to the COTP net adapter. And on the net adapter, it will have like Ethernet cable connected to the switch. So the systems can be added to our smart station, can be managed and controlled by our applications. So that's how the centralized deployment works. And also, you may wonder, for the DIN rail lighting actuators, it might need like a power supply. So we will offer, we don't offer like a 24 volts supply by ourselves, but definitely you can source it from locally for those kind of 24 volts DIN rail power supply. It's quite standard, it's quite universal, and if you source locally, it will have all the certifications required. So let's sum up. So for large projects like villas or full building automations, centralized deployment is your go-to. You think the DIN rail lighting actuator and COTP net adapters all in a clean central cabinet. And the good news is those DIN rail products will be released by the early of September. So for power supplies here, we recommend our partners source them locally with required certifications. So this is the centralized COTP deployment. And next is the distributed COTP deployment. So what's the difference here? So the difference here is that the lighting actuator, the DIN rail lighting actuators is gone. Here we only have the back box actuator. So for smaller projects like apartments, distributed deployment keeps things very simple. So instead of putting like one big central cabinet, you place components in switch boxes around the space. And yes, the COTP net adapter for this setup is also coming at the early of September. Yeah, so you can sell both large scale and compact projects with the same technology. So that's a difference. And the last one. So I think you guys must be very familiar with this setup. So if the client says we just want wireless, no problem. This is the deployment. Basically, this is just like our conventional smart switch deployment. So basically, as I mentioned, most of our Sublime panels, like Sublime Max, Pro, Standard, or even Classic, or even Air, they all have like a COS module inside, which means you can pair the panel directly with our smart stations, any smart stations from like a Defense Smart Station Pro, smaller smart station, or Nature 7 Pro or Nature Mini Pro. They are all compatible. So basically, you can pair those Sublime panels to our existing smart stations. So this is just like our existing systems. So let's see our deployment picture here. Here we have like 4 different COTP subnet connecting all together. Let's take a look from the upper one, the COTP subnet 3 and the COTP subnet 4. So basically, this is the Sublime panel we offer. It has the control components, it comes with the actuators, and it has the COS module inside, which means you can utilize the COS module connecting to our smart station wirelessly by this is just like I mentioned, this is the most typical and most familiar way to pair Sublime systems to our existing systems. And COTP subnet 4 is basically the same. You pair to our smart station by cost. But one thing to notice here is that for COTP, we have a brand new feature called cost interconnect. So previously, if you want to do like a double control or traveler control, like a two switch to control the same lighting, you need to have the smart stations. You need to utilize the smart station to do wireless control for double control scenarios. So in that case, the smart station is required. Now, for our Sublime panels, we just launched a new technology called cost interconnect. So once you configure the double control for those two Sublime panels, even without the smart station, those two panels can talk with each other by cost interconnect. So say for instance, even the smart station is done, the double control will still work. So that's the brand new feature of Sublime panel, the cost modules, because we put like a really powerful cost module in our Sublime panel. So that brings the new cost interconnect feature. So that's about the wireless connections. And let's take a look at the wired connections. So COTP subnet 1, we have COTP net adapter here, converts 4-pin bus line to network cables and connecting to the IP systems. So the smart station can find COTP subnet by IP and add it by IP. So below the COTP net adapter, you will see those panels, and also thin rail actuators. They all connected to the COTP net adapter by 4-pin cable. So that's like a wired subnet, COTP subnet. So basically, COTP subnet 2 is the same. So the 3-pin cable here only transmit up to like 50 centimeters in standard deployment. And the 4-pin cables here can transmit up to 100 and 200 meters. And if you want to make the distance longer, you can use the standard IS-45 repeater to make the transmission distance even longer for up to 1,000 meters. So that's the typical COTP network. So let's quickly sum up. So that's it about our wiring diagram of COTP systems, or you could regard it as a winning formula. In critical areas, just choose wire. It's stable, it's instant, it's rock solid. And in expansion areas, just go wireless. No new cables, no construction dust, no complaints. And together, a network that's stronger, faster, and more flexible than either one alone. So it's like just pairing a marathon runner with a parkour champion. You need the speed where you need it. You need flexibility where you want it. So that's it about our COTP features. So do you guys have any questions so far about the COTP deployment, or you want me to elaborate further on some of the diagram here? So let's see from one lead. Cost interconnect is possible at Sublime solar systems. Is it possible to connect regular switch panel? For this question, unfortunately, no. Because as mentioned, so Sublime, it is a high-end series, so we use a really powerful cost module inside. The cost can cover, the price can cover the cost of the powerful cost module. But for regular switch, due to the performance of the hardware, we cannot support cost interconnect. But we will check with our R&D to see if we have any plan or we can bring this feature to existing range in the future. And 24 volts electric current amount. Oh, it really depends. It depends on what kind of how many devices in the systems. It depends on how many devices in the system. And can Sublime module like Max or Pro can control regular LifeSmart product like HVAC controller? Yeah, definitely. So all the system is compatible. So say for instance, you pair a Sublime panel to existing LifeSmart systems. You can link in the applications. You can link the buttons to any of the LifeSmart devices. And you see in our Sublime panel, Pro panel, you may see like a smaller screen, rectangular vertical screen. The screen, you can utilize to control the scenario modes, to control the HVAC systems, to control the lighting, and also to control dimmer, and also control curtains. So that's a system that is supported on the smaller screen. And from Hassan, so the on-off actuator will be in the back side of the keypad. There is planned to have separate on-off actuators to be added inside the power distribution board as in dimmer actuator. So we will be close to KX connection. Yeah, sure. So Hassan, if you take a look at this picture. This is the DingRail product we'll be releasing soon. This lighting actuator support will be installed on the cabinet. It's DingRail support installation supported, so you can mount it on the rail, and you can mount it in the cabinet. So it will be centralized management. So this one here is only for on-off. But we will soon to have dimmers as well. The dimmer is scheduled to be released at the end of September. So we will soon have dimmers. From Mark, it's the DIMM controller DALI 2. No, currently it is not DALI. This is the dimmer we are going to release is a 0 to 10 watts and also a constant voltage dimmer. So the initial plan is for those kind of two technologies. And for DALI, I think you will still need to stick with the LifeSmart DALI controller. And from Ramia, can Sublime connect to non-LifeSmart devices like Google or Alexa? Yeah, for sure. This is still a feature under developing. So because for Sublime, it is like a lighting switch. You have like lighting actuators, you have dimmers. So those kind of lighting devices or dimmers, they are already supported in LifeSmart systems by Google and Alexa. So for sure, in Sublime, you can utilize Google and Alexa to control those kind of lighting actuators and dimmers. So the answer is yes. From is it safe to say that we were going to use Cat6 wire from DingRail actuators to the adapter, or is it just twisted wire? For the wire, what do we recommend? Cat6 is okay, but what we recommend is those Cat6 with shielded cover. So shielded cover can give you better performance. Can exclude the interference. So we recommend to utilize shielded Cat6, or KX cable is also acceptable. So KX cable, they are 4-pin. They come with shielded cover already. So those two options, Cat6 with shielded cover, and also KX cable. And from Mark, do both ends of the shield need to be grounded or just one? For this one, yeah, this is a really good question. For this one, currently there's for those kind of shielded, we don't need to ground them. We don't need to ground them, but I think in large deploying the systems, we need to check how will the systems be grounded. We need to check with our R&D center and get back to you on this. Yeah, that's a really good question. And from Wally, do you have pictures for 4-pin adapters connect to Sublime module for understanding the same pin as 3-pin? Yes, we do have pictures, but we have like a smaller pictures here. Maybe we can ask our sales team to send you a high definition picture for you to understand. So basically, the adapter here. This is the 3-pin to 4-pin adapter. So this is the 3-pin, and this is the 4-pin. The adapter is the same size with our cube switch module. The same size, 3-pin to 4-pin. We will send you a real picture for this device so you can check further. Okay. Let's go. We have another 3 training slides. I'll answer the rest of questions after I finish the slides. So the last part is about COTP, KNX, and Modbus. So let's talk about that. So KNX has been, just give you a little bit of background information, but I know some of you guys might be more professional than me in KNX systems. So just give you a little bit of further information on this, is that KNX has been around since 1999. It's a merger of like 3 European bus protocols. It's the veteran in the room, adopted by like big European brands like Legrand, Bosch, ABB, Schneider, those kind of huge companies. And it's open, so different brands can talk to each other, but it needs special cable or professional installers. It's solid, yes, but also a little bit like old school. So, and about Modbus, so Modbus protocol goes back even further, like 1979. So it was designed for industrial automations, and it's great for like simple, low-cost controls. So you might find Modbus, those kind of protocol, widely used in those kind of factories, all those kind of production machines. They've been programmed by Modbus. They've been connected to each other by Modbus. So it is a very common protocol in those kind of like factories or automations. So, but it's a master slave polling, so latency can vary, and the interoperability is very tricky. So different brands often speak the same language, but with total different accents. Say for instance, if Modbus from Bosch might not be speaking to a Modbus from Daikin or from other companies. So even if they are the same protocol Modbus, but each company will have different definition about the Modbus. So different Modbus protocol cannot talk with each other. So here's the comparison chart between COTP, Modbus, and KNX. So for the wiring requirement, COTP works with regular Ethernet or RVB-SP shielded cables. So no special wires is needed. But for KNX, you will have to use their cables. Otherwise, no after sales is guaranteed. So internal speed is higher. COTP is higher than Modbus, so responses are faster and more consistent. And the most important part is about the security. COTP has built-in encryption from like day one, but for KNX, they are insecure protocol until 2020. Now in the market, there are only about 10% of the projects are encrypted. Only 10% of the KNX project are encrypted, because you need to add additional devices and cost to have encryption in KNX systems. So this isn't just like a tech talk. So for clients, that means lower cost, faster control, and better protection from COTP network. So the next is installations. COTP is flexible. You can do like a centralized or distributed deployment, and it's easy to wire. And for debugging, you need to use LiveSmart app, and we are going to release like web tools. It's all free to use. And for KingX, you need to have like a paid software license. And for Modbus, you will need to use a very old or traditional serial tools. And the configuration is plug and play or manual. So no weeks of engineering work required for COTP network. So yeah, so that's about the comparison. So last part, questions. Now we can answer all the questions. By the way, let me see. Blend Curtain Controller Pro. Can I know it use, please, from GPT? GPT, you will need to go to LiveSmart Academy to finish the certification, finish all the course. This is like a standard product in our brochure. This is a controller switch panel for those kind of curtain motors with wired controls. So for some of the curtain motors, they do wireless controls. You use the Nature 7 Pro or Nature Mini Pro to wirelessly control the curtain motor. But for some of the conventional curtain motors, on the end of the curtain motor, it has 4 or 5 wires. So you need to use those 4 or 5 wires to control the curtain motor. So for some of the users, they like to use physical buttons to control the curtain. So that's where you will need to use blend switch curtain controller. And from Cromwell, what's the expected lifespan of each device and how is it serviced? The design lifetime is 10 years, but for warranty, please check with your sales. And from Wan Li, the steering wheel will be supported dry contact. The Sublime series all modules support HomeKit, Google Home Matter. For dry contact, we received some feedback. We are still doing some kind of research on this. Currently, the modules we offer, the backbox actuators is not dry contact, it is for lighting actuators. And for the DIN rail one, I think it supports both AC and DCs. But dry contact, we will need to do more research on this. The Sublime series all modules support HomeKit, Google Home Matter. Yeah, we are developing it. We are developing Google Home, Alexa as a standard service. But for HomeKit, we need to do more study because HomeKit, they are like more strict on the certifications. We need to check with Apple as well for this kind of support. And for Matter, yeah, Matter the same, because for Matter it requires certifications. Of course, I think theoretically, because those devices are just like dimmers and on-off lighting modules. So in wireless systems, they are already supported by. So I think in wireless systems like COTP systems, in theory, it should be supported. But the question is for the certifications, we will need more time to check. And from Cornwell, can you have multiple COTPs in one property without control conflicts for multiple panels? Sure thing. So that's why we're developing our own protocol to give the best user experience. So we are also within our team, we're also setting up like a demo board, so we can show the real application scenario or the real working environment, and then we will have like a recording of all the setups, so you guys can check and play and see how the systems works. And from GPT, Sublime can be connected to which all devices. Is it premium range of product? Yeah, this is for the Sublime. This is the high-end range and premium range of our Light Smart systems. And you can regard it just like sync panels, and coming with like actuators or modules that can control the lighting systems. So basically, it can control lightings by the actuators. It can control dimmers by the actuators. And you can regard it like a sync panels. So those buttons on the surface, on the panels, on the covers, they are all programmable on the applications. So you can link those buttons to any of the systems. Say, click one button to turn off all the lightings, click one button to turn off all the appliances from the smart stations. So that's like, you can just regard it as like a scenario buttons. And from Omar, does the on-off lighting actuator can be connected to CT or CV dimmer? Well, so I think you mean by controlling or do dimmings, right, Omar? I think if you can connect to CT or CV dimmings, but in this application scenario, it will be only controlling on-off the power of the CV and the CT dimming. If you want to do dimming directly for the lighting fixtures, we recommend to wait the COTP CV dimmer. It will be coming at the early of September. So we will have like a COTP dimmer. It's already in developed and it's being tested. So it will be soon released. And from some solar, may I ask, Spot Mini can be used with Dutch air conditioner and ceiling cassette air conditioner backing brand? Well, Spot Mini is basically infrared. It's basically infrared. So for infrared systems, we have like a database. So Daikin is definitely in the database. But for specific model numbers or specific device type, I recommend to test. But for Daikin, it will definitely be supported. And from Ala, do we have any limitations in mounting the Sublime panels on wall in terms of size, dimensions? Yeah, we have like recommended installation height and recommended installation weights for Sublime. We are sorting out the documentations. I think we just sorted out all the installation document. So once it's been verified, we will send to all of the partners and to our sales team. So you can have a look, say for instance, Pro or Max, which height to install, what things to note to install those kind of panels. And I think the biggest thing to note is that for standard UK size, or we say 86 size, it can fit two-way actuators and four-way actuators. But if it is like European style backbox or 120, or with the US standard backbox, it can only fit two-way of lighting actuators, two-way lighting actuators. And I think you are welcome to open the mic to speak to me directly. So otherwise, I'll have to wait one more. Let me see from Ismail. Hi Scott, how are you? Can we use our AC gateway like AC Controller Pro with Sublime? Or only now we can use 3 to 30 watts on off? Thank you. Yeah, so like the LS 175 and LS 212, they will be supported on Sublime Pro, the smaller screen. So in the screen, you can utilize the screen. It will have a dedicated HVAC interface, user interface. You can utilize that screen. Just like a Nature Mini Pro thermostat, you will have an interface to control the ACs, to like switch mode, to adjust the fan speed, to adjust the temperature, and so on and so forth. So definitely it's supported. And from Conrad, for the COTP, software or firmware updates deployed automatically or initially manually. In the event of an update failure, what safeguards are in place and prevent the device from becoming inoperable? Well, just a risk manager. I understand you. This is a very good question. So for LifeSmart, I think this is not only a question to COTP. This is also a question to LifeSmart systems. So the strategy for updating softwares and firmware is that for regular software update, we will not do automatic. We will do manual update for the users. So the user can choose whether to update it or not. And if it is very high risk security patch, we will do automatic update. We have this facility, and we have this kind of function in the backend, so we can do push automatically to all the users to fix the security risk. And to update those kind of firmware, those kind of software or firmware, we have a rollback systems. Say for instance, if we're upgrading a smart station, and in the middle of the upgrade, user accidentally cut off the power, so it loses the connection, it loses the power, and it goes down. So we will have like a rollback systems. After you connect in the back, it will roll back to the previous software. It will not be like just like a break or something. It will roll back to the previous software. So this is already in place, those kind of features. And from alarm, what is the max number of actuator that a Sublime panel can support? I'm not sure if this was mentioned earlier in the training. Sorry if I missed it. Not sure. Actuators. Yeah, 16 actuators. 16 actuators maximum. So 16 actuators in standard configuration. If we will have like an 8-way of thin rail, that will be 128 lighting circuit we can control in one COTP subnet. And from Roger Kong, example 3 Sublime switch with 3 pieces 4-gain actuator using COTP wire, and is it all going to one COTP net? And the maximum is how many? Yes, you can certainly do. So let's go back to the previous slides. Here. So this is a capacity of like a COTP subnet. So you can have maximum 8 bridge modules, 16 actuator modules, and 40 panels in one COTP subnet. But actually, I think the 16 is not the maximum. Basically, if you deduct from the bridge module or from the user components, you can actually go higher. I think this is just for safe. We say actuator module 16 here. So this is the standard configuration for one COTP subnet. Hi Scott, which models are supporting 86 and 120 blocks? Well, if you just mean by panels, all the panels support 86 and 120. So all the panels from like a classic panel, air panel, pro panel, classic panel, standard panel, they all support 86 in the 120 box. The question is for the actuators. For the actuators here. So the panels can be mounted on all those kind of back box. The actuator here. So I think the question is you asking is whether we can fit those kind of actuators in 86 and 120. So we have like two models of actuators. We have two-way. Sorry about the ugly writing. And four-way. So for two-way actuators, it definitely goes into 86 and 120 box. So this is yes, and for four ways, it only goes into 86. It cannot go 120. So for four-way, only 86. Only 86. Hello, sir. Can you explain me about how to use platform software management? Well, for this kind of question, I'll suggest to speak with your sales and technical team. Explain this. Today's training is about COTP supply. So if you have this kind of other systems you want to look at, please speak with your sales team and technical team. From Allah, so using the Sublime, we can integrate with any existing wire solution brand. Yes and no. The question is yes and no. So it depends how you want to integrate. So for wired systems, let's say KX systems. So for KX systems, currently we are not compatible with them. We're definitely not compatible with them because we are using COTP protocol. But in the future, we already have a plan in the middle of next year. We are going to release like a KX module. So which means the KX module will convert COTP signal to KX. So our system, Sublime system, can be integrated to KX platform. And for other wired, I know there's lots of like American brand. They are also using their brand. They are also using their own protocol, but they are wired automation systems. So it depends how to integrate with them. If you are going to use their software to control our Sublime series, I would say we can offer like open API. We can offer API because Sublime also supports open API. We can offer open API for them to integrate with our devices. And from the COS and the COTP difference. COS is wireless, COTP is wired systems. So that's the main difference. And is Sublime series compatible with Apple HomeKit? Currently no, but we are still working on this. And from architect, the COTP need programming, ABS. What is the software? Well, I would say it definitely needs some kind of configuration of the software. The software will be firstly on the Live Smart applications. So in Live Smart app, just like our conventional smart switch, you program all those kind of buttons, you program all those kind of automations on the app. And for sure, for Sublime, it will bring like a new user interface on the app. So we will release a documentation on setup, and we will record videos, training videos for typical configurations on the softwares as well. From OMA, does Air Switch support 120 box? No, Air Switch only support like currently only support 86. And from Weber, I think we are a bit shy to use Mac. Definitely. Please don't be shy. And from Weber, my last question: what will be maximum load for actuators? Well, that's a really good question from Weber. So for back box actuators, for the smaller back box actuators, two-way and four-way, The maximum load is 200 watts for LED, 500 watts for resistance load. And the relay inside, we are using 10 amp, not 16 amp, 10 amp relay, just for the size, because we are using a 4-way relay here. To make it compatible with the 86 backbox, we will have to deduct the relay to 10 amp. But it is a silent, really silent 10 amp. It is a really silent 10 amp. So for 2-way and 4-way lighting, backbox lighting actuators, it is all 10 relays. But for DIN rail lighting actuators, the relay inside will be 20 amp. So you will have like 4 by 20 amp DIN rail relay, or 8 by 20 amp DIN rail relay. So that's for like building automations. Can we get a suitable socket module for Indian market? That's going to get difficult in nature and that switch. Yeah, sure. We are definitely studying. We are definitely researching on this kind of different socket. I think for socket, this is also a dilemma for us because there's so many socket standards all over the world. We will try our best to cater all the requirements from all of our partners. But please talk with your sales team to get this addressed. So we will sort out the priority on those kind of socket standards. If we connect Sublime to Smart Station, will it work with Apple HomeKit? We'll currently no, but we are still working on it. Because it is just a lighting switch, for HomeKit, the thing is about the specifications. We'll definitely work it out. And from Ivitech, what solution Sublime is offering for AC? Well, for ACs, you will still need to stick with the AC solutions we have right now. So like the AC gateway, the smaller AC modules, and the thermostat panels, all those kind of stuff. So you will need to stick with the current solutions. But in the futures, we might consider to launch those kind of AC actuators, so you can do like centralized management and control as well. From Mark, what is the inrush current of the relay? What is inrush current? Is it the maximum current? It's 10 amp for the backbox relay, backbox actuator, and it's 20 amp for DIN rail actuators. And correct me if I understand wrong. I don't know what inrush current is. How is data from panel? How is the data from panel? How is the data from panel protected, especially with Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, CPU? This is just to test the security. How is the data from the panel, especially with Wi-Fi, Bluetooth? Well, the panel, the data from the panel, because it's a wire technology, so the data in the wire is already encrypted by our own algorithm, so it's already protected. But I think it's invariant with Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and Zigbee because those are wireless protocols. For Sublime, it is not using those kind of protocols. From for standard series 6K, it's possible to connect 4K actuator if it fits in the box. And does it can assign any key to control this 4K line? Yeah, correct, definitely. So yeah, sure. So 4K actuator, if you can fit it into it, you can just program. You can just program it. So say for instance, you have 6 keys but only 4 actuators. So you can program another 2 keys to be like a scenario control and another 4 keys to be controlling the actuators. And from The COTP net adapter connection Cat6 cable. Yeah, Cat6, you need to use shielded Cat6. We recommend to use shielded Cat6 to just to exclude the interference. In Rush is different. We can discuss offline. Sure. Let's discuss offline. And if Sublime switch connect using COS or HomeKit, currently no. For HomeKit, we are still working on it. If we have any news on HomeKit, we will let you guys know. Definitely. But we are getting this addressed to our R&D team. We are pushing them. I'm to run to the next meeting. Thank you for the training. No problem, Mark. Talk to you soon. Is there any central box available for all the Sublime adapter COTP for in-wheel actuator, so we can make proper wiring and a central room for wired home automation? Is there any central box? Well, this is for those kind of cabinets, because different countries, they have different standard for those kind of electrician cabinet. So I strongly recommend you to source locally. And a different project, they require different styles of cabinet. So I will say we will not offer any those kind of electrician box, but you can definitely get from local market with really good qualities. And can a COTP be configured remotely for large-scale rollouts, or must each unit be set up on site? Can a COTP become a remotely large-scale rollout? We recommend it to program it outside, but for some of the features, if say for instance, because for some of the lighting effect or the buttons, it has different lighting effect, like flashing, like on off. So for those kind of program, we recommend it to do outside to basically check whether it's configured successful. And if you do like adjustment, like a scenario mode adjustment, you can definitely do like remote configurations. And from Weibo, from the actuator window, it's good to see that the L and terminals are not right to each other. Yeah, we received feedback. How the setup would be different from B2C and B2B scenarios? Well, I think the question is here. The question is on the slides. So for B2B, if you mean B2B business scenarios, I would say those like building automations, like you want to automate one like office building or one office. So we recommend to do centralized control as the slide. So COTP deployment centralized. So you put all those kind of power supply, lighting actuators, adapters in the cabinet. So it is easy to install, it is easy to manage altogether. And for B2C, for customers, for end users, you can either choose from distributed deployment with wired technology, or you can choose from like total wireless technologies. So you just regard the Sublime panel as like a wireless switch, you pair it to the gateway. And from Cromwell, what encryption standard is used for local and cloud communication and has been penetration tested by a third party? So for the wireless technology we are using is equipped by AES 128, and to the cloud communication is utilizing HTTPS for connecting to the cloud. And certainly for those kind of penetration tests, it's usually required by project. We discuss this case by case. Apparently, but of course, in some of the projects, we have done penetration security tests by like a third-party security audit company. We also have the report in hand. If you are interested, we can share it with you for your reference. And how long wire we can do for actuators to switch? It really depends. So if it is 3 pin, we recommend under 50 centimeters. If it is like 4 pin, it can go maximum like 100 to 200 meters. From there, DIN rail COTP net adapter connection limits 4 pin to 3 pin adapter. So the DIN rail COTP net adapter here, in the training slides here, 4 pin. It supports only 4 pin. So you need to connect 4 pin cables. The same here, 4 pin cables. So the green wire means 4 pin cables.
nóไม่เชื่อมแต่เขาออฟฟิศ
มันต้องยึดทั้งหมดลงไปเลย
เลือกแค่บางอุปกรณ์ไม่ได้
Alright guys, any further ones?
ต้องได้สิเพราะว่าเขาบอกเองว่า1 station หลายห้องได้
The mobile application also
ก็
works
ของ
on wireless.
ที่นี่เลยจะได้เห็นห้องข้างล่างเรากดแล้วจะได้เห็นเลย
It works. The current last mile works on wireless on local area network, but certainly you will lose some kind of
ก็
beautiful
ถึงบอก
user
ว่า
interface.
ตอนนั้นทำไม
But
ไม่เชื่อม
definitely
ข
it
อง
will work
อันนี้
with
เลย
it will work
ที่
on
เซ็
the
ตตั้ง
local
นาน
area network.
เขาบอกว่าลอง2ตัวนี้ดูก่อนว่ามันดึงค่ายังไงได้บอกมันดึงได้แล้วดึงได้แต่ยังไม่รู้ดีไว้2ตัวนี้ที่เราไปก่อนก็ได้ลองเสียบดูก่อนถ้ามันขึ้น
Regarding the B2B scenario, office building, what would be the disadvantage if we use COS instead of COTP?
เมื่อวานเสร็จแล้ว
That's an interesting question. I think it really depends on the building. If it's new building and if you want really fast control, definitely go with COTP with wire technologies. But if it is like a retrofit project, for existing buildings, you can go with COS. You can certainly go with COTP, but you need to reconstruct all the wirings, those kind of stuff. But it is not, cost effective for you. Just go with COS. So go with wireless technologies. So definitely you will save a lot of efforts and money because it is wireless. It can support retrofit project. And for distribution partner side, can dealer level technicians replace major components without sending the units to the factories? I think for this one, please discuss with your sales teams. We can discuss this offline, how we can work together on those kind of post-sales issues. Alright guys, any further ones? Yeah, we'll definitely share the standard for those parameters like AWG. We'll send the documentation mentioning all those kind of standard for 4-wire and 3-wire deployment. So for 3-wire, you don't have to worry because we'll provide the 3 wires. For 4 wires, if you have a project right now, we recommend to use Cat6 shielded cable or even like a KX cable. So it should be standard with the same it should be standard across all lifespan range. Please speak with the sales team to clarify the actual warranty for Sublime series. Okay, no problem. Thank you. Thank you as well. Thank you for attending the training. If wire break in the middle of the net adapter to 4-pin adapter can make normal joint, we recommend to use like those joint accessories in order to make it easier to maintain it. But definitely you can join them together. It's like a bus line. You can search like a standard Modbus bus line or 45 bus line. Okay, cool. If there's no further questions, let's call it for today. Big thanks to all of you guys attending the training today. Hope you enjoy the training and you get to know a lot about the Sublime. So for any further questions regarding Sublime, please feel free to speak any of the LifeSmart team. And we'll prepare all the English deployment and configuration documents. Once it's ready, we'll send to you guys. And any questions, if you got samples, any questions, you are all welcome to ask. So thank you for the day. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
The recording has stopped.